What's up everybody, Brick Sanchez here, and today I will be showcasing my brand new Kinetic Moc called the Halloween Thestral Carriage. Now before we go any further, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and leave a comment as well. Alright, now moving on with this Moc, which is an expansion on the set Hogwarts Carriage and Thestrals. Now if you want to build this yourself, I will leave a link in my description where you can purchase the instructions for this model. Now you might have noticed that we have two different options for whoever is pulling the carriage. Out here you can see that the Thestral is invisible for if someone besides Luna or Harry is looking at it, but we can also swap that around for the Thestral option itself, which is a slightly modified version of the original Thestral that is included out here. So first off, I modified the wings a little bit to give them a lot more mobility, and I also added this thing to whatever this is here, so we can slide it in there in this piece right here easily and swap them out. So you can have the Thestral or the invisible Thestral as well. Now you might also be interested in the free instructions for this tree, which I also have in my rubricable page. Besides a couple of changes to the Thestral, there haven't been any changes to the original carriage here. So if you have this set, you can just keep it original like that. I have just integrated 2 bit lights by Game of Bricks in there, but for the rest it is exactly the same. I've also included Neville and Ron in this scene because I couldn't find a proper Hermione. But anyways, now I will be removing this carriage and we'll be taking a look at the base here. Starting off with the power source, we got this power functions battery box here connected to a small motor, and then we got a couple of gears here just so the wheels out there wouldn't spin as fast as this motor, because this motor spins pretty fast. Now this thing is also detachable, and you can also find these in the instructions, and they're a lot cleaner than this one. I had to use some different colors out here because I didn't have them in black. But so anyways, this is how you connect it. You can just click it in here again, and like so, and then you can just turn it on. Now on the base here you can see we have 4 openings with a tire underneath there, and now these spin in the opposite direction of the carriage wheels, of course, so the carriage wheels would spin forward. Now this is connected to the motor with a chain as well, so these move at the same speed, and that in itself is connected via a couple of gears to this other mechanism up front here. Now this mechanism here just uses a couple of Technic plates there. If I turn it on, you can see them turning around, so it will elevate whatever I put on there. If either it's this glass piece or the Thestral, it will elevate that each half turn. Oh, like that. Each half turn that it turns around, it will just have it lift up a little bit, which kind of seems like it is walking or galloping or whatever. Now initially I designed this project with only the invisible feature out here, but then I decided to expand on it and get the Thestral out there as well. Now this was pretty easy to do, so I just had to make the slit a bit wider, and then I didn't have to change anything about the mechanism. I could just slide in this 2x6 like so, and then it worked pretty fine. So I was very glad that I didn't have to change that mechanism. But both of these mechanisms were inspired by the fantastic work of the Brick Consultant, which is somebody that I follow on Instagram who makes a bunch of these automata type of builds, and this was the first one that I ever wanted to try out. It's also one of the first times that I've really used a motor, just because I only have one of them, so I would love to integrate a lot more of them in my Hogwarts castle as well, because I would love to place this eventually in my new layout, kind of have it integrated in there, perhaps have 2 or 3 behind each other, but I will still need a couple of parts for those, especially new motors. And then for these tires out here, that was just a bunch of trial and error until the carriage could be placed on there easily, and then I've just added on some plates without obstructing the mobility of these wheels out here. And that worked out pretty fine, because now I can just put the carriage on here and it will stay in place. It will occasionally move a little bit like this, but that kind of adds to the realism for me personally. Now besides the movement, I also wanted to include some moving lights in here. So as you can see, we got a couple of static ones like the lantern and the 2 bit lights on the carriage there, but I also wanted to include some moving lights like we have out here with the jack-o'-lanterns. So to achieve this candlelit effect, I've used an effects board by Game of Bricks, which I've used many times in the past already, to get all of the candles and torches and even some water elements lit up in my custom Lego Hogwarts castle. Now the effects board has 2 different flickering effects, which I like to combine, so it looks like the candles are moving at a different pace in the wind. Now if you're also interested in lighting up your Moc, be sure to check out the link to Game of Bricks in my bio, and be sure to use my code BrickSanchez to get a 30% discount. Now something that I really love about this model is that it reminds me of a magical photo. So when I turn it on, of course the background is not moving along with the carriage and with the Thestral, but it seems like it's just a loop in time, which is just repeating all over again. So that's something that I really love and would really love to integrate in my layout. If you're interested in building this model for yourself, be sure to check out the instructions below, and if you want to only build that tree, you can find the free instructions for that as well. Be sure to stay tuned for more videos, as this will definitely not be my last Kinetic Moc. I will try to make another version of this one, probably a Christmas version with a snowy tree and a snowy pathway out here as well, because this one is obviously based on Halloween. But yeah guys, so far this mock. If you liked this video, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell and leave a comment as well. Let me know what you think of this mock here. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next one.